Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. This is the Genoa Township Board of Zoning Appeals. The date is July 22nd, 2025. It is 7 p.m. and we are meeting at the Genoa Township Hall, 5111 South Old 3C Highway, Westerville, Ohio 43082. We have two agenda items tonight, BZA case 2025-05, which is an area variance at 8330 Oxbow Road. And we have BZA case 2025-06, which is also an area variance at 8002 Maxtown Road. Staff present is Paul Benson and Rafiq Udig, back in the back. And I will call the roll. Ms. Yu.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Here.
Mr. Wilkoven.
Here.
Here. Mr. Campanella.
Here.
Ms. Guest is in the back, and Mr. Holloran is right there. I can almost see you, if Paul moves. Okay. As is the adopted policy of the Board of Zoning Appeals, all applicants will be granted an opportunity to make their formal presentation. The audience will then be granted an opportunity to comment, followed by questions from the board. This policy was adopted by the Board of Zoning Appeals to provide for the orderly discussion of business scheduled for consideration. The chairperson may limit repetitive debate. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is go through the review and approve the minutes from April 22nd, 2025, and I guess we do not have a copy of those, so.
Were sent out by email a week ago.
Right, they absolutely were.
Yep.
You're correct. So we're saving some tree. So I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Phillips, a second.
Second.
Mr. Campanella. All in favor, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And there were, I assume, now that we've already approved them, that there was no amendments or any revisions. Okay. Okay. At this time, I will open the public hearing, which is for the area variance for 8330 Oxbow Road. All those wishing to testify in this matter, please stand and raise your right hand. Oh, that includes the applicants. We don't charge extra if you get sworn in, it's fine. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Be seated, thank you. Okay, I'll read the legal notice into the record. Andrew Smith, Emily Smith, and Tammy Dorenzo requesting approval of a variance to construct a single-family residence that encroaches into the front setback section, which is section 606.06 at 8330 Oxbow Road, Westerville, Ohio 43082, currently zoned rural residential, RR, and this is BZA case 2025. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on July 10th, 2025 in the Delaware Gazette and posted at the Genoa Township Hall on July 8th, 2025. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. And we're accepting exhibits A through D into the record, the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report. And we will start with the staff presentation from Mr. Benson.
Thank you, Chairman Harmon. Good evening, Board. This property is 8330 Oxbow Road. It is a corner lot as it corners both Oxbow Road and North Shore. So therefore, it's a little bit different on the setbacks. It has two frontages and two sides. There's no rear setback on corner lots. There's a little bit of variance history with this property. The original home that was built on the property was built way up on the corner of North Shore and Oxbow. The previous property owners had a fire. After the fire, they requested two variances. One that was not relevant. They wanted to live in an RV while they figured out what they wanted to do with the house, if they wanted to rebuild or build somewhere else. And then they also requested a second variance for building another house, but having the house further back by the water, and it would have to encroach in the Oxbow Road front setback and both side setbacks. That variance was approved in 2018. Board, that house ended up never being built. That property owner, the property, eventually it was sold to the neighboring residents that are just to the south on North Shore. Shortly after they purchased the 8330 Oxbow Road, they contacted the department. I spoke with the homeowner about what the options were for putting a house there, explained to them how the previous owner did have a variance. However, that variance has expired because they never built the house. They never followed through with their permit. So their permit for the house expired, and therefore the variance expired because it was never built within the 3 years as per the zoning resolution. So it then took a little bit of time, and eventually the property owners did submit the variance. So they are requesting a encroachment into the front setback. The setback is supposed to be 75 feet. They are requesting 47 feet 5 and 13/16 of an inch. A few things that staff comments or for recommend. The setback that was, or the site plan that was shown or provided with the application does show the front setback to Oxbow Road, but then it also shows multiple other setbacks to the side lot on the east side as like something like 23 feet. It's actually 25 feet. I think they have on there 10 feet to the south. That's actually 25 feet. So if they do get approved, they just want to make sure that they are within those setbacks. If they don't think that they can work within those setbacks, additional variances would have to be requested to be able to build within those setbacks. The setback request is a 27-plus foot reduction into the 75-foot setback. The approval in 2018 was for a 50-foot reduction to the setback, and that was approved. So what is being requested now is less than what was approved back in 2018. Elevation drawings that were on the drawings that were provided was not included. It didn't have a height included to it. We just want to make sure that the applicant is aware that there's a 35-foot height limit. If their construction, which it doesn't seem it would, but if it would increase or exceed the 35 feet, another variance would have to be requested for that. We did provide copies to police, fire, and maintenance. Fire Marshal Cato responded that he did not have concerns. We did not hear from maintenance or police. And that is all that I have. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Go. Anybody? Oh, I thought I heard somebody. Oh.
Questions?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Okay, my hearing isn't.
No, I
as
didn't
well
say
as
anything.
says.
I didn't say anything. I just have a question. I'm looking at the schematics here for the setback. It looks like the objective is to accommodate a garage. Is that the main objective, or is it for the house itself?
The house itself
Okay.
is encroaching to the 75-foot setback. The property itself is not very deep from Oxbow Road to the southern property line, and their setbacks are 75 feet from Oxbow Road and 25 feet to the south. So there's only about 25, 30 feet or so to work with as far as building a house. So it would be difficult to be able to build a useful house on the property.
So it's a buildability issue
Correct,
relative to the size?
yes.
Thanks.
Mr. Benson, I had a quick question. In the staff notes, it notes that many of the setbacks that are indicated on the materials are incorrect, mislabeled, or invalid.
Yeah.
Anything we need to know about tonight?
No, that was more just for the applicant, just let them know that what is on there is not correct. It didn't seem that the location of the house was going to be within the correct setbacks. We just wanted to let them know in case they have to decide, oh, wait, we are going to be within that 25-foot side setback, so we are going to have to delay and request request additional relief to those setbacks. So that was more just general information for them.
Okay. Thank
Yeah, but as of now, the only request is the encroachment to the Oxbow Road front setback.
Oh, so it's only for, in relation to Oxbow Road that.
Correct.
The variance is required?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
But are they going to be able to move forward if this variance is passed with where they want to build?
That's a question for the applicant.
Oh, right. Let's hear from the applicant. What a great idea. You can either at the podium or at the table, whatever's most comfortable for you.
Is this good, or is it better for me to just talk loud? Okay. Okay, thank you for the introduction, you covered.
Oh, and introduce yourself, please, if you don't mind.
My name is Joshua Mason, I'm with Denver Construction, my brother and business partner Jacob Mason. We're here on behalf of the Smith Lorenzo family, current multi-generational household in the township. We're, representing them regarding this particular lot. The introduction covered everything very well. The question related to our site plan, our setbacks, we have updated site plan to just basically make all the correct indications. The only section in which a variance is needed is the frontage to Oxbow Road, where within the required setbacks were off of North Shore and off of the adjacent side lot to the south. Additionally, you were correct in your assumption. The total height of the structure is below, it will not need additional variance.
It's on one of the plans, is it not?
It is on, it's 30 feet tall.
30? Okay. Thanks for saving me. I haven't
Yeah,
time for it.
I got it here if you'd like to look at it. I can bring it over there.
Is it in our
I think he
materials?
added it.
You have the
I have a lot of floor plans, I don't.
You're looking for front elevation height?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see front elevation, I just don't see it marked with the height.
Yeah, I don't think we have the, I think we got the, we just don't have the dimensions here. So the front of, the actual physical front of the house is gonna face Hoover? Is that the,
No, the
Okay.
rear will face Hoover, and the
Okay.
front will face the intersection up on.
yeah, it's kind of angled out
Yeah.
towards the corner there? Okay, all right. Max 30. The only concern I have, and I think it's a nice drawing, and we're not really that concerned with the floor plan, but it's a little, and it's been a while since I've been over that way, so forgive me, you can correct me. It seems a little bit atypical for that area right there. It's a little different design than, a lot of it's like mid-century ranch-style houses over there, maybe older things. If you want to address the conformity to the neighborhood a little bit.
Neighborhood varies in style. I would describe the neighborhood as at least the older portion of the neighborhood is traditional,
Okay.
mix of ranch and two-story.
Yeah,
What's now adjacent to it is the new development where there's kind of more patio-style homes, instead of five-bedroom style homes. So that neighborhood now seems 50/50, that 75 patio home style versus the traditional rentals.
okay.
I had a chance to look at the image of the property prior to the house being removed, and this would be a significant upgrade from what had been there prior, from my perspective. Though I think the A-frame type is fairly unique in that neighborhood. There's no homeowners association or design guide for that area, so there's no architectural requirement, correct?
Where's the placement of this house going to be in correlation to the demolished property?
Demolished, you can kind of see it on the auditor side
Oh, can ya?
page, that kind of here. So,
we're thinking.
yes, yeah, we're in that back corner. The garage, which is shown up front,
Yeah, right here.
yep,
Is that?
that has remained.
That's
That is
existing.
still in good condition.
Okay.
Basically.
And the house was where, here?
To the left of that.
It was there.
Oh, over here. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you.
I remember that. I saw that on the picture.
Okay.
And this house will be to the right,
It's gonna be back in here?
Very, so,
and across the area.
Okay.
right about here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you're good here, it's just here.
Correct. And we're also good to the south as well. We're beyond
this remains a separate site. It's not gonna be, because there's common ownership. Those are gonna be separate sites. Do I have anything else? Anybody? You guys are awfully quiet. We should meet more often. Okay, hang out for a minute. And does any member of the public have any comment regarding this application? Sir, were you sworn in? Come on up. Okay, well, you're halfway there. Now we're going to swear you in. If you don't mind raising your right hand. And thanks, guys. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Great, thank you. And please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Mark Helbush. I live at 8301 Oxbow, basically across the street.
Oh, okay.
Been there about 10 years. I watched the house burn down. And previous house was really a mess. It was kind of a junkyard.
That's what I kind of remember, yeah.
And the new owners, once they got the property, they got it tore down. They cleaned it all up, so they took real good care of it. I did want to comment on your one observation about not fitting in the neighborhood. My house across the street is taller and real steep roof. It's not an A-frame, so it doesn't really stand out. And the house behind us, it's that long road where the red barns are. You go way back in there.
I haven't been back in there in a
Yeah,
while.
that was an A-frame from way back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they added on, but it was an A-frame.
Oh, okay.
So it's not unique.
So it's not that atypical for the area?
No, the
Okay.
housing styles really vary.
Yeah, I realize that, and that's largely because of the period when they were built. They were probably current period whenever they were built, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of the houses you can tell a single builder came in and did it, but you can tell other ones they bought a lot and built whatever they wanted.
Yeah, that's pretty normal throughout the township, I think. So, okay. Anything else?
No, I'm fine with it. I think they've been really good to the property. We're all happy that they cleaned it up
I'll bet.
and it's no longer an eyesore.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, then Mr. Phillips.
Do you want me to run through Duncan versus Middlefield?
Sure, if you're ready to do that, we can do that.
Okay? Didn't want to take you out of your
Oh, no.
Board reviewed section 307.06 of the zoning resolution reflecting Duncan versus Middlefield as it pertains to the area variance requested from section 606.06 to allow for a principal building to encroach into the front setback in a rural residential RR zoning district as follows. And then these are the points from Duncan versus Middlefield. The property in question arguably would yield a reasonable return, and there can be beneficial use of the property without the variance. The reason I say that is the size of the property, the location of the previous house would allow for another house to be built on that property. So that's
Let
just,
me- Let me ask a quick question.
Yes.
How many square foot is the footprint of the house? Because I didn't see that on your,
Yeah, footprint, not like true footprint or total living space?
no, footprint. Because I know it's got an upstairs and a downstairs. And I didn't see that, and I remember, thanks for reminding me of that.
okay.
So the footprint is 1,012 square feet.
Okay. So it's relatively small?
Yes.
Okay. Total square footage then?
1323.
Okay.
And also, once the old house was torn down,
Yeah.
they are no longer able to rebuild in the same location, existing non-conforming, so they cannot build up in the corner where the previous house was anymore.
Right, because it would also encroach. I kind of remember that from the prior
Yep.
case, yes. Okay. All right, sorry to interrupt there, Mark.
Well, that's interesting because as far as Duncan versus Middlefield go,
Well, and that was kind of my point. I wanted to make sure that there really isn't, in my mind, any alternative to doing this because they're not building a huge house.
I wasn't aware that the last one
Yeah,
was non-conforming and they couldn't. I mean, they could get another variance, but
Right, without a
without a
variance.
variance,
it
they
was-
couldn't.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
So in that case, then I would change the first point in Duncan versus Meadowfield. The property in question would not yield a reasonable return in that they couldn't build a house on that property without a variance. And there cannot be beneficial use of the property without the variance. Second point, the variance is substantial, I think 36%.
Yeah.
Third point, the essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered, and the adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. We heard from the neighbor who said that there was a similar structure, an A-frame, built in the neighborhood. His house has a very steep roof. So the neighborhood would not be substantially altered by construction of this house.
Right,
And there are no objections.
And there are no objections.
right.
There's only one comment, and that's in favor. Fourth point, the variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services. I believe Genoa Township notified fire, police, and maintenance, and there were no adverse comments from any of the three. Fifth point, the owner did purchase the property with the knowledge of the zoning application, or zoning restriction. I believe your owner said that in the application. They recognized that the property owner is charged with that duty, but they moved forward as they should have.
And I think he was aware of the variance that had been granted as well.
The property owner's predicament cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance. That's the only way you can build the house is to get the variance. And then the last point, the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice would be done by granting the variance. Again, we have other houses in the neighborhood. This isn't a unique structure of it in itself. It would blend in with other structures within the neighborhood. So the variance should, it should be granted so that you can complete the go forward with the construction.
And it's now starting to come back to me, 2018, in that they had to come to us for a variance to rebuild the structure. The owners then had to come back to us just to rebuild the existing structure. I think they were just going to replace what was there with the same footprint, if I
Their
recall.
plan was to put the house around the same area that
Right.
is currently proposed,
Yes.
but their house was much larger.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, so it's gonna take up more space.
Then my memory isn't as good as I thought. Okay.
One of the things that speaks well about this application is that it's actually a smaller variance than what was originally approved.
Yes, I noted that as well, which, as I recall, I don't remember there being, and Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember there being a whole lot of concern.
No,
over
because
the
these corner
size of
lots
it.
are so strange.
Yeah.
The way it's set up, it really makes you make one, I kind of remember talking about, we can make one long skinny
Yes,
house.
yes,
Yeah, I remember the RV.
yeah, okay. All right. I'm sorry, I thought you were finished, I apologize.
No, discussion, and I was going to make a
Oh,
motion.
okay, so we are in discussion now.
One more note, sorry, before you
Yeah,
go
no,
to the
please.
motion. I did add one more note onto my memo this
Oh.
morning when I was thinking about it. They are requesting a very specific distance of the 47 feet, 5 and 13/16 of an inch. Staff would recommend, if you are going to approve, to possibly give them a little more space in case there's any contingencies or
I-
errors in construction, and maybe go to 47 feet or
I generally
or whatever the
prefer
board
doing
would
that,
feel
yes.
welcome, would be okay with.
And they were asking for 27 feet. Okay. 50-foot reduction.
No, that was the previous one, was 50-foot reduction.
Oh, that was the old, the prior one. Okay.
This one's approximately 26 feet, 27 feet.
Oh, got it, okay. Does staff have a recommendation, like 28 feet?
We set the motion as you would set whatever distance their front setback would be. So if you want to round to the nearest foot and go to 47 feet, you can. That would give them 5 inches plus to work with. If you feel comfortable with giving them more, that's up to you.
Are you comfortable with that, 47 feet?
Well, the original's 47.5, right? So if we gave more, it'd be 48, wouldn't it?
Oh, so you,
Just,
We're saying what the setback from Oxbow Road is gonna be, not the encroachment. We're going,
Copy.
we're setting their front setback
copy,
for
copy.
them.
Yep.
So if you're willing to set it at 47 feet, that gives them an extra 5 inches, 5 and
Right.
We're
13
mapping the other way.
13
I
sixteenths of
gotcha.
an inch to work with. If you want to set it at 46 feet, give them an extra 1.5 feet to go with. That's up to you.
yeah.
Their request was 47 and change, so I think 47 is more consistent with their request. Is it not?
Applicant, do you have a?
Yeah, if we could, encourage to do the reduction at 30 feet, that would give us, plenty of space there, so reduction from
So,
75
okay.
feet.
So put it,
So
so,
you
so,
want
so put the front at
45.
45 feet then?
That's,
Okay.
45.
I think that's,
Do they need to amend the application to do that
Uh,
formally?
No.
Nope.
We can probably do whatever number.
Yeah, I think we just have to put it in the
Yeah,
motion.
we gotta put it in motion.
Yeah, as long as
anyway.
it's in a motion.
So 45 you don't wanna come back and see us, really? We're here. No, seriously, okay, I'm comfortable with 40, whoever wants to make a motion, I'm comfortable with 45, so.
That's okay.
Anybody wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Phillips?
I move to incorporate Exhibits A through D as well as the board's findings pertaining to the review of Section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence and to approve the requested variance as modified from a 47-foot setback to 45 feet from Section 606.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolutions for BZA case number 2025-05. Application received June 3, 2025, to reduce the front setback for a principal building from Oxbow Road to 45 feet on property known as 8330 Oxbow Road, Westerville, Ohio, zoned rural residential, which is RR. This motion is based on the following findings of fact pursuant to Section 606.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, that such variance or modification will not be contrary to the public interest because we have other homes in that area, which kind of sets a precedent for the current owners to build this house. Number two, that owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the zoning resolution will result in unnecessary hardship because ultimately the house couldn't be constructed without the variance. So we believe that to be an undue hardship. Number three, that the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution, and substantial justice shall be done thereby because, again, first and foremost, the house can be constructed. You can move forward with the construction of the house. Otherwise, it appears without a variance, the property would be of no use for building a residence on the property. Approval of the subject variance is subject to the owner's agreement to the following conditions. Number one, all required permits, zoning or otherwise, be obtained. Two, pursuant to Section 307.11 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, the approved variance shall lapse, expire, and be null and void ab initio, meaning from the beginning, if required zoning permits are not obtained within 1 year of this motion of approval. Number three, the extensions to this variance may be requested pursuant to Sections 307.11A and B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. Number four, the Board of Zoning Appeals does grant the Genoa Township zoning inspector authority to extend this variance at their discretion, subject to the deadlines established within Section 307.11A of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. And five, again, the application is amended to give you a 45-foot setback rather than the 47 and change that you'd requested.
Okay.
Second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Yu. Discussion. Anybody? No? Oh, Okey-doke, I guess we'll call the vote. Mr. Campanella?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Wilcoxen?
Yes.
Ms. Yu?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries. Okay. And the hearing is closed at 7:30 PM. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Nice presentation. Yeah, this was just the easy part.
Thank you.
Now, let's go. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we'll give these guys a second to move out. Boy, we sure cleared the room. All right, the next case is, and I'll call the order at 7:32. And I will ask everyone that's going to testify in this case, please stand and raise their right hand. It's okay, you can. We don't charge extra for it here. I do that with a lot of wives because their husbands aren't. Yeah. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thanks. Be seated. Okay. I will read the legal notice into the record. Jeff Cormel requesting approval of a variance to construct an accessory building that exceeds the maximum allowed accessory building height, which is section 1609.01, point D, at 8002 Maxtown Road, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, which is currently zoned suburban residential SR, and this is BZA case 2025-06. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on July 10th, 2025 in the Delaware Gazette and posted at the Genoa Township Hall on July 8th, 2025. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. The following are marked as exhibits A through D: the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report dated July 15th, 2025. And we will start with staff's presentation. Mr. Benson.
Again, Chairman Harmon. The 8002 Maxtown Road is currently a vacant treed lot. The previous property owner did submit a permit application for a new residence in 2023. They did not go forward with building, so that permit has now been voided. That homeowner then, or that our property owner then tried to do a lot split, and they submitted a lot split application that was approved. They never completed the lot split process. So that permit is now voided also. And then the current property owner purchased the property in January of this year. We received a permit application on January 30th for a house and a barn. That permit was denied because the barn that was proposed was higher than the 22-foot maximum that is allowed on a lot that is less than 3 acres. On March 17th, the applicant then submitted a revised application that showed the barn at 22 feet. It was then approved. After that was approved, the property owner called the office and asked about what needed to be done to be able to have the barn be taller than the maximum 22 feet. So we discussed the variance process with them, and then they submitted their variance application that is before you. The submitted application does include pictures that are showing the conditions of the site from all 4 angles of the property. The pictures of the side lots on both sides do state that the property owners on that side were both in favor of the variance application, that they did not have any issues with it. In addition to that, the property owner to the west, Mr. Joffrey, called the office on Friday, this past Friday, the 18th. He said that he was in favor of the variance application and that he thinks having the barn there would help the area look more like old Genoa, was his terms that he used. If the board does approve tonight, staff does recommend that there's a condition included that no other accessory buildings that would be added to the property would be able to exceed the 22-foot height limit without also getting a variance. We don't want it to be a blanket, all accessory buildings on the property can be whatever is proposed and allowed. We did send the variance application to Police Fire Maintenance. Again, Fire Marshal Cato responded. He did not have any concerns. Police and Maintenance did not respond. And other than the phone call from Mr. Joffrey, we have not received any other inquiries from the public. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
For Paul? Okay, let's hear from the applicant. If you introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jeff Cormel, the property owner at 8002 Maxtown. This is Scott Florence, our contractor for the site. So the process that we've gone through to get the house and the barn approved, we wanted to have the barn match the house from an aesthetic standpoint. It's pretty similar to the attached garage on the house, same roof pitch. It's going to be white board and batten, same windows, similar porch to the front. So we really took some time to do the aesthetics on it. I'll admittedly jump the gun a little bit. We were trying to buy some lumber before all of the cost increases went up. The supplier had mentioned that they thought they might go up, and so we did purchase the material for the barn in the hopes that we could build the barn first to store our material in it. And then we found out that
Oh, so you want to build a barn and then the house?
that was the plan, but because of the variance situation, we actually started on the house first. But our plan was to start on the barn to get it out of the way so we could start storing materials in it to build the house.
Oh, I see.
And then at that point, we went through with a shorter barn so we could get everything approved from the aesthetics standpoint. And then after that, I talked to Mr. Benson about what we would need to do. And I believe, to me, it came down to a nuisance from the neighbors if they had an issue with it. And I have since talked to, as you'd mentioned, both neighbors on the east and west, and I did talk to the neighbor on the north as well of the site.
South?
The north of the site across Maxtown.
Right, but
Because
not south.
the south, no, because the house is going to block that completely.
Okay.
Block
And
the-
I
yeah.
don't know, I'm
Yep.
familiar with the property because I live very close proximity
Oh.
to there,
We're gonna
in
be there.
Barrington, so. Yeah, so that's why I.
Yeah, the
pretty
neighbors to
familiar.
the rear will be blocked by the house, so they probably won't be able to see much
So
of
is the
it.
barn going to be then
The
in
barn's going to be in
of
the front
house?
property,
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
So you'll pull in the driveway.
Kind of like the neighbor next door to the west, that his house
Yeah.
is to the rear as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I wanted the barn specifically that way for two reasons. I do a little bit of woodworking. My wife, it's in our house today in the basement, so the barn would be our opportunity to get that out of there and then have the ability to store our RV there on the first floor and then have the shop on the second floor. So there was kind of a means of the madness of the size of it. And the aesthetic side of it will be match the house exactly.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I would have, I just personally, I don't know, I'm only one guy here. I would have appreciated seeing maybe what the house was going to look like so that it would match up to the barn and vice versa. Do we have that?
With the,
There's a,
The,
maybe we have this, but we don't have.
yeah, that's the site plan. This is the barn here.
Right, but the
Yeah.
house.
Oh, the
But
house.
Like, how tall is the house?
Well, I was asking to see what
story,
the house was.
the
gonna look
33
like.
feet.
33 feet, okay.
I could get it to you very quickly if you wanted to pull it up. I have it on an email, I could send it to you. Or I could just show it to you on my phone if you wanted.
Yeah, because I really would like to.
Sure.
To have a look at that, because I think it's important because.
Yeah, because that's your main motivation
So
for the.
it's-
Oh, I see, okay.
So
here.
it's gonna be a all-white board and batten
Okay.
looking house.
Uh-huh.
The barn, the garage you can see is attached
Right,
to the same.
sure.
Yeah.
Three-car garage, two-car garage?
Probably 3.5 car.
3.5. When they start making 3.5 cars, I'm in business too.
I've got young kids coming, so I wanted a little bit bigger garage doors.
Yeah, I got a couple I can send you.
This is the
Uh,
barn.
so this is the house.
This is the house, okay.
And then the attached garage is here.
How many feet is the house roughly?
First and second floor is 3,200.
Oh, so
and
it's
then the
good size.
basement will be
12, okay.
Matches up nicely.
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, okay, see, I think that's important because when we talk about conformity to the neighborhood, and the barn is actually, is it,
You'll see you come in the drive.
okay?
The barn is going to be facing, the rear of the barn will be Maxtown Road, and the porch of the barn will be facing the house, so they're going to be facing
Rear of the barn is,
facing the north.
right, and it's the rear of the barn, is this the rear or is this the
Well,
rear?
that's the,
Your top left.
this will be the rear facing Maxtown.
Oh, so that's,
Yeah.
okay,
And this
so
will be
that's what
facing
we'll see.
my house, so.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is like driving by a Maxtown, you'll see this.
And you probably won't be able to see much.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty heavily treated
The,
here.
the other part that I'm doing as well, we live in Landings of Hoover, just behind there.
Oh, okay.
And I've always wanted a little bit of land, so we're gonna do some creative berm landscaping around to try
Oh, I
to
see.
keep the visuals down from both sides and the front. So it's gonna be, it will likely be unseen after we get all the landscape completed.
So are you going to put your driveway to the left of the barn or the right of the barn?
Left.
Be the left of the
Yep,
barn? Okay.
Yep.
It's gonna be barn, driveway, and everything's
And the
back.
barn will be here, you'll drive further back, and then the house will be
Gotcha.
there. Yeah, it's 170
Oh,
from,
that far back?
yeah.
That lot driving by doesn't look that big.
Yeah, it's
doesn't look that
470
deep.
feet front to back.
Basically, we see the two bunks of plywood right now is the end of the barn,
Yeah, it's,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
the west side of the barn.
because I walk that, well, not enough, but I walk that pretty regularly. Okay,
So is the access for where you want to put the RV, is that facing Maxtown Road?
no, it'll be off of the main drive.
Okay, okay,
So I,
okay.
You
the,
look right behind you, the driveway is coming.
Yeah.
the garage
I
door
figured,
will
but
be right
okay,
there,
I
so I
got
can
you.
back right in.
Wasn't sure, but
Access to the garage.
I got you, I
Coming
got you.
off the driveway. Not off the ramp. Obviously, it's 170. 170.
oh, and I saw you change that, you're gonna have a 14-foot door
Yeah.
instead of a 10,
Yeah,
so.
the redesign that we were able to get approved only had a 10-foot ceiling. The fact that
Oh,
and I had bought
okay.
unfortunately, bought the trusses ahead of
and the
time.
barn's gonna be how many feet roughly?
Is,
I saw, was it 1,300
it is,
or is that the foot, I can't remember,
That's the footprint.
okay, the footprint's 1,300.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're gonna have like a loft up there? in
the second floor has an 8-foot ceiling in it, so I can
Oh.
have the shop upstairs.
Oh, because one of your
Right.
plans shows the wood shop behind.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's when we kind of laid everything out, that's only gonna be like 10 feet wide, which doesn't give me a lot of
Well, you
room.
need much more room than that for a wood shop, right?
Trying to build tables and things like that gets a
Sure.
little tough in there.
So the
okay.
main driver of the request is architectural conformity plus the incremental height based on the desire to use it for both an RV storage as well
wood
as
shop.
for a shop.
That's correct.
And that's the bottom line.
That's 100%
Well,
correct.
that RV is gonna be what?
They're
10,
13 and a
12
half feet.
Yeah, there you go, okay. Okay.
The one thing I did want to say too is I know that we're asking for a variance. We are not, in the plans, there's a cupola. I don't believe we're going to do that because there isn't one on
I was
the,
gonna ask about.
yeah,
that.
there isn't one on the house, and I don't believe that we're going to do that.
Okay, so if we approve this with what you're requesting, that does not
That will-
include the cupola?
That's right.
Okay.
And we will not be putting one on.
Would it anyway? It would?
I don't think so. I think you get an additional couple feet.
Yeah, the cupola would be allowed to be extended 4 feet over
Oh, and I
what,
think his-
what the
Yeah,
maximum
this,
height
the-
you would set it at.
Yeah, the
think
28
it's
does
full.
not include that cupola, so, okay.
All right. Here, let me get this out of the way. Do any members of the public have any comment regarding this application? Seeing none, let's go through Duncan versus Middlefield. Thank you, by the way. Did you have anything to add to that? No, you're good? Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, no, that he answered the question. Started the same.
fair enough. Anybody want to go through Duncan versus Middlefield on this? Boy, not everybody at once. All right.
The board reviewed section 307.06 of the zoning resolution reflecting Duncan versus Middlefield as it pertains to the area variance requested from section 1609.01D to allow for a pole barn to exceed 6 feet 11 inches into the required 22-foot maximum allowed accessory building height in a suburban residential, which is SR zoning district. And then the elements of Duncan versus Middlefield start with the property in question would yield a reasonable return, and there can be beneficial use of the property without the variance. In that first proposal said that you could handle it with 22 feet or whatever. So it would be a reasonable return, but we understand that. The variance is not substantial, correct?
If we round it up to 29, it's about 18%.
18%? I think if we always said 20% is
Yeah,
substantial.
20, 25, yeah.
25, okay. So it's less than what this board assumes to be substantial at 18%. C, the essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered, and the adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. The character of the neighborhood, first of all, you've indicated you're going to kind of build a berm and shield. The barn, as I understand, is going to be blocked from Maxtown Road at least by the house. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Way around.
It'll be blocked by the trees.
The trees.
Blocked by trees,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So whatever, it does not substantially alter the character of the neighborhood.
You can actually make an argument that it's a throwback to what the character of the neighborhood has been in the past.
Right, and there
Like
was,
look down the street,
Yeah.
on both sides, it's that.
Yeah, it's kind of a return to form, so it certainly wouldn't be an outlier.
and there was a neighbor that said, in fact, he
That's what I
thought it would take it to the Gehenna, or, I'm sorry, Snow Township of old. The next point, the variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services. Once again, I think Genoa Township has notified police, fire, and maintenance, and there were no adverse comments back from them. The property owner did purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. I think you commented that you were aware of that restriction. The property owner's predicament cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance. Again, in order to get the camper in, to put your wood shop in, it's going to require that variance for the higher ceiling on the lower level, which requires a higher roof. Number 8, the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed, and substantial justice would be done by granting the variance, once again, allow you to develop the property and put the building on, and to accomplish whatever goals you had for the property and the building in particular. Discussion?
Anyone? Discussion?
No discussion? Okay.
Questions for the applicant? No?
Questions, anyone for
Okay.
the applicant? Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the application. Are we modifying this to 29 feet? Did you
That's
say
me,
that?
like I said, I made the assumption when that's a recommendation of staff, and
Yeah,
it's.
they're requesting 28 feet 11 inches. If you want to give an extra inch, you can do that. It's up to your discretion.
I think we can entertain that.
Okay, so the application will be modified at the request of the board from 28 feet, 11 inches to 29 feet. And the exhibits We have A through D. Were there others submitted? Were the pictures submitted after? Oh, do these need to be admitted, or are they part of?
They're submitted with the application. They're part of the application.
Part of the application, okay. So exhibits A through D, as well as the board's findings pertaining to the review of section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence and to approve the requested variance from section 1609.01D of the Genoa Township zoning resolution for BZA case number 2025-06. Application received June 5, 2025, to allow for an accessory building on a lot of less than 3 acres to have a building height of 29 feet at 8002 Maxtown Road, Westerville, Ohio 43082, in a suburban residential SR zoning district. This motion is based upon the following findings of fact pursuant to section 307.04 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution. That such variance or modification will not be contrary to the public interest because, first of all, no one has objected. So the public interest is served in that we haven't had any adverse comments. To the contrary, I believe there are 3 neighbors who have commented in favor of this application. 2, that owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the zoning resolution will result in unnecessary hardship because, once again, you wouldn't be able to put the camper in and have the space upstairs for the wood shop. Number 3, that the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution and substantial justice shall be done thereby because neighbors aren't affected, the spirit of the neighborhood is not altered, and you'll be able to build the building that you want to build. Approval of the subject variance is subject to the owner's agreement to the following conditions. Give me just a second here. First, all required permits, zoning or otherwise, be obtained. Number 2, pursuant to section 307.11 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, the approved variance shall lapse, expire, and be null and void ab initio if required zoning permits are not obtained within 1 year of the motion being approved. Number 3, extensions to this variance may be requested pursuant to sections 307.11A and B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. The Board of Zoning Appeals does grant the Genoa Township zoning inspector authority to extend this variance at their discretion, subject to the deadlines established within section 307.11A of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. I made a note here that a 5th condition is no cupola will be built on this structure.
Do you also want to add the one about no other accessory buildings may be taller than the maximum 22 feet without an additional variance?
Okay, yes, and number 6, where do we go here, that included that no other accessory building and any future accessory buildings built on the subject property will be subject to the 22-foot maximum height. So we have those 6 conditions then. Nothing further.
Okay, second?
Second the motion as read.
Mr. Capanella, okay. Any further discussion?
Call the vote.
All right, roll call. Mr. Campanella?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Wilcoxen?
Yes.
Ms. Hugh?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries. And at this time, we will adjourn the hearing at 7:55. Thank you, gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Good luck. Yeah.
Enjoy your shop.
Yeah, what do you got, about a 2-year, what do you got, about a 2-year process on this? What do you got, about a 2-year building process on this, you think? No? Oh, yeah, I know you've been, it's been pretty active.
Pouring foundation, pouring floors and driveway, garage, and lawn.
Oh, wow.
And then we've just been waiting on this because we're just kind of sitting on our hands.
Sure, sure.
So,
Oh, good for you.
we can start digging. We already have the permit now, we just have to go back. We already had it. Yeah. Revise, yeah. I've already talked.
All righty, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:55 PM.
So moved?
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting's adjourned.